Battery master, main bus on. Okay, AD/CD, diagnostics only. Circuit breakers, fadeout panel is AD/CD and Alt or on. Circuit breakers I've checked. Beacon is currently on. Fuel pump is on. Engine master switch is now. Oh, hang on a second. Check. Clear prop. Okay, engine master switch on. The fadeout panel is lit. Glow plug is on. And off. Okay, so we have the engine running. Oil pressure is in green. Load is at 8%, and the RPMs are at 900, which are within tolerance. So.
These, of course, will take a while to warm up, but the amber means they're not green, but they're not obviously red.
Okay.
So they're okay to tax about that. We wouldn't want to take off and something goes down.
Right, okay. Okay, so I'm just gonna.
Alpha November, 5 minutes to drop.
Okay, fine. Okay, I'll continue my tests. So the fadeout panel is all out. AD is green. CD voltage is green. Animator is green. Suck, we have suck of 5. Power lever is set to idle. Fuel pump. Pump is off. Avionics master, I've done this, so it's just firing back up again now. Wait for the radios to fire up, but the COM 2 is set to 123.2, which is Old Sarum.
Yeah, I turned this one off again when you were starting them, because it's always best to have the radios off when you start the engine, in case of voltage spikes.
Right, okay. So, 123.2 is set as primary on COM 1 and COM 2. So, transponder is set to standby. AI.
Yeah, it looks alright. I mean, as I'm looking at it, it's behaving alright at the moment.
Morning, Old Sarum Radio. This is Golf Bravo, Foxtrot November Kilo, requesting radio check and airfield information.
Old Sarum, runway 06 for the right hand circuit, QNH 1019. The parachute procedures are in operation.
Runway 06, right hand circuit, QNH 1019, parachute procedures. Golf Bravo, Foxtrot November Kilo.
I'm at a payphone. The sun goes down, the stars come out. Where are the times gone? My universe will never be the same.
Pop Danthology.
drive me crack. Hell yeah, dirty bass. Let's go. Turn up the music 'cause the song just came on. Here and now, I'm talking here and now. Let's go. Turn up the music if they try to turn us down. I'm talking here and now. I'm talking here and now. It's not about what you've done, it's about what you're doing. Cross my heart and I hope you die. It's all about where you going, no matter where you've been. Can I only stay with you one more night? Let's go.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe. I think I finally had enough. I think I maybe think too much. I think this might be for us.
Let's go.
Hey, I heard you were a wild one.
Okay, so brakes on, power up to full, got full power, warning lights are all out, brakes released. Aeroplane starts to accelerate, keep it straight with the rudder bar, wings level with the aileron, and a bit of back pressure around about there.
One, hold your position, one aircraft rolling.
Bit of back pressure on the stick. As we lift off, place the cowling on the horizon and a bit of right rudder to keep the ball in the middle. Okay.
Perfect.
Climbing safely now, looking to climb initially at 65 knots and then allow the aeroplane to accelerate. Accelerate to 70 knots at a safe airspeed and a safe height. Retract the flaps. And then we keep climbing straight ahead till we get to 500 feet. Obviously looking to T's and P's all green, everything else secure, and keep maintaining a good lookout. And at 500 feet I'm going to do a climbing turn to the right, so 15 degrees of bank angle. Here we are, 500 feet, good look around. Climbing turn to the right, continuing the climb, aiming to level off at 800 feet, which is the circuit height of this particular airfield.
Roger.
Now look behind me to make sure I'm orientated on the airfield. I am, and pretty orientated on the airfield. And of course we set the airfield, the runway direction on there anyway, so about perpendicular to it there. As we approach 800 feet then, level off. So lower the nose towards level flight altitude. Now the airplane to accelerate. Ease off the right rudder. Power back by sound and feel to about 70% or thereabouts. Retrim. Roughly 3 trim movements forward will have us trimmed. Good look around. It's time to turn onto the downwind leg. A normal turn now, 30 degree of bank angle onto the downwind, maintaining my 800 feet. As soon as I've done the turn, I want to get my call in nice and early so everyone knows exactly where I am. Golf Nova Kilos, downwind 06. And then I can look at my downwind checks. It doesn't matter whether he replies or not, it's not important.
Is that to be part of the circuit or remain in the circuit?
We're in the circuit. Okay, brakes off.
Power of November DZ.
Undercarriage down. Mixture, mags and pitch automatic. Fuel sufficient. Pump is on. Flow is good.
November, go ahead. Switching to chatter now.
Flaps are up. Gauges and gyros are all green. Hatches and harnesses all secure. And I'm maintaining a really good lookout all the time. Maintain my altitude, my height at 800 feet. Now, the runway I can see over here, we want to be turning when basically the threshold's about 45 degrees behind the wing, roughly. Or roughly when they get to the cathedral, you know, in this particular airfield. Particularly good lookout on the left for aircraft joining on a base leg who may not have seen us and may not be paying attention. So there we are, the runway's beginning roughly to where we want it to be now. So a normal turn, medium turn to the right to bring us onto our base leg. And as soon as we're established on our base leg, power back by sound and feel to about 20%. Keep the nose attitude where it is, the speed's now falling, it's in the white arc, 2 stages of flap, and then put the horizon around about here, and without having to retrim, the aeroplane should now be trimmed at about 75. If I need to retrim, then fine, but I want to be trimmed at 75. Good look now, particularly at the approach, to make sure that no one else is flying on a final approach. And I should now be descending on my base leg with my runway out on the right here. Now, at this early stage, I'm now going to start making some judgments. Am I too high, too low, or just right? Well, it looks to me as if I'm just about right. So, using the power to regulate our rate of descent, or regulate our perspective, and using the pitch to regulate our speed, I'm going to continue as we are now. As we get to about 10 degrees in advance of the runway centerline, I turn to the right to bring us onto the final approach. A little bit slow, so lower the nose slightly, add some power. 75 is the best speed to be aiming at here. Okay. There's the runway centerline. Turn onto the final approach. If I've judged this right, I should roll out more or less on the final approach. And I'll make my final call. Golf number Kilo, final land, 06, touch and go. Now I'm not quite on the centre line here. Okay, committed to land, final stage of flat. Actually, no, we'll leave it 2 stages flat for circuits, beg your pardon, forget that.
05 degrees at 8 knots.
So from now on, I'm looking at the runway, judging my perspective and managing the perspective using the power. I'm being fairly bold with the power, not fanning around with it. If I'm too high, cut the power. Use the pitch to maintain the speed. If I'm too low, add the power, but don't fanny about with the power, be reasonably bold with it. Okay. And I'm trying to maintain this perspective picture all the way down. At the moment I'm trying to take the whole picture of the airfield in. As I get down to about the hedge, I want to shift my gaze to the far end of the runway, imagining there's a flagpole at the far end of the runway and I'm looking at the flag on the flagpole. That's where I want to be looking from the point of a roundabout here, because from this point I want to be taking in the whole picture of the airfield as the grass starts to rise around me. I'm going to aim a little bit long so we avoid this steep bit here. So the ground's starting to rise now. As it rises, I raise the nose to match the rate of flattening and close the throttle, and I hold off for as long as I can until the wheels touch down. Full power. As we lift off, put the cowling on the horizon, bit of right rudder to keep the ball in the middle. We start to climb away. Any questions on any of that?
Probably about 30, but
it's quite a lot to take in.
I think I've got the gist.
Quite a lot to take in, and we'll get there slowly, bits of, as you know, polishing as we go along. So you have control then.
I have control.
You've got 2 stages of flap set, but I should leave them for the moment until we get to a safe airspeed and a safe height, and then retract them both. And fly me a normal circuit like that, please.
Okay, I have 17 knots, so I'm going to reduce 1 stage of flap. And then a further stage of flap.
Good. And then you'll need to retrim, I'm sure. And roughly about 1, 2, 3 3 trim movements will have you back to climbing at 75.
Okay, heading towards 500 feet. Do a check around.
Good.
And I'll make my turn to the right.
Good.
Okay, turning onto crosswind. Maintaining about 75 knots and about 500 feet.
Alpha November, canopy to right, tank climbing.
Okay, hang on, turning.
You can see the runway orientation there, so you've got a bit of a way to come around to crosswind.
Okay, go. Carry on climbing towards 1,000.
No, 800 feet.
800 be funny. Right, and we will now level off at 800.
Don't trim before you get the power back. Don't trim before you get the power back. So,
sorry.
Yeah, attitude, power, then trim.
70%. Okay, fine. Right. going to be doing my lookouts. I'm looking for about 45 degrees.
No, we turn downwind more or less immediately, as soon as you can.
Okay.
It's 45 degrees at the other,
Oh, right. Okay.
the other end of it.
Downwind. A bit high, so okay, make my call. Old Sarum Radio, Golf November Kilo, downwind. 06.
Roger.
Okay, I'm going way too fast.
That's okay. I'm in into downwind checks now.
So, brakes are off, undercarriage is fixed, don't have mixed as much. Fuel, we have enough to go around, we're on the prep tank. Fuel pump is on, hatches and harnesses are good.
Old Sarum, Golf Charlie Echo Golf Sierra, request airfield information.
Is there anything else?
And gauge and gyros, make sure there's no warning lights, flaps are on.
Yeah.
Good. Just watch your height.
Runway 06 for the right-hand circuit, QFE 1009er.
Runway 06 for the right-hand circuit, QFE 1009er.
Okay, so this is the point where you're looking for the runway to be roughly 45%. Now, the height's, watch your height. So your power setting is too low. Get the power up 70%. That way we'll stop descending and we'll have a better view at the front. Okay, so roughly around the cathedral, with the runway 45 degrees behind us.
Okay, check for anyone on final. Okay, so at this stage...
Now we're a little bit low again. Okay, now go through that manoeuvre I showed you, so power back, it's about 20%. Keep the nose attitude where it is, check when the white arc, lower 2 stages of flap.
One, two,
And then put the horizon about there, then you should have 75 knots.
hang on a second, just watching this bird.
Extraordinary as peregrine, I think. Lovely bird. Or well, quite a large. Anyway, so 75 knots we want. 75. So need to lower the nose, add some power. And keep a good lookout, particularly up the approach. Now, we're too high, too low, or just right?
We're a little bit low.
Okay, so add some power, that's right. Keep the speed at 75. Good look up the approach, good look all around.
Okay. About ready to turn onto the final now. Just checking no one else is on final. Okay, make my turn. Good. Turn 75 knots. Okay, I'm going to lower the speed a little bit.
Okay, too low, too high, just right.
I think I'm a little bit high now, but
Okay,
I'm
so-
going to lose that with
So,
so high.
can be bold with the power. Now relax on the controls. Manage the speed with the pitch and the perspective with the power. And don't be shy with the power. Relax on the controls.
Alpha November, canopies away, descending high.
Go off to move the kilo on final.
So don't cut across somebody. Yeah, relax. Now look at the far end of the runway as the ground starts to come up. A little bit flat. Okay, full power. Howling on the horizon. then we'll get to a safe airspeed, then retract the flaps. We need 70 knots really to retract the flaps. Lower the nose slightly to achieve it. Lower the nose a bit, otherwise we won't get to 70 knots. That's it. And when we get to 70 knots, retract the flaps. Okay. Need to retrim. Okay, I've got control, just relax a second. Good, okay, not bad at all. As a first effort. The a little bit low on the a little bit low, a little bit early, but you corrected that. Don't be shy with the power. So if you think we're too high, as we did then get on the final approach, be fairly bold with the power.
Okay.
Touchdown was a little bit firm, but we'll improve that as we go along. Okay, you have control. Let's try that again.
I have control. Okay, getting crosswind to 100 feet. Okay, so attitude. Power.
The 70%.
And trim for.
Or fly at the proper correct power setting, otherwise the nose will be too high and we won't be able to see where we're going.
November, that is joining on the right, high base,
Okay.
runway 06, 3,700 at the moment.
Quite as crosswind as I want to. Like it.
November Kilo, I don't have the insight, what's your position?
It's up for Golf Kilo.
Okay, I'm just say your position in the air.
No, we're just turning downwind. I've got you inside, we're well clear.
Okay, what's the name?
Going downwind. Good. Now, be careful. You're bringing the power back. I don't know whether it's because you're flying going a bit too fast, but don't do that. Set the power to the cruise power. It doesn't really matter about the airspeed, but it's important we can see where we're going and that we don't sink. So set the power to what you need it to be. Okay, so I've called down. What do you call downwind again?
Golf November Kilo downwind for 06.
Good, and then we did our checks.
Brakes are off, undercarriage is fixed.
Roger, 010 degrees at 8 knots.
Golf November Kilo. Fuel, we have enough there, and fuel pump is on. Good, hatches, harnesses are secure.
All secure.
Instruments all look fine. Agency is green, temps and pressures are in green.
Good. Very good.
Okay.
Now you notice that at the correct power setting we get a much better view forward, even if we're going 10-15 knots faster than you might have wished.
Okay.
Student Golf Golf Sierra, ready for departure.
Roger, one aircraft just vacating the wind, 030 degrees at 8 knots.
Down on base.
Golf Golf
Look out. Okay, let's bring power back to 20%.
How's that aircraft clear yet?
Okay.
And that aircraft has vacated.
Introduce one stage of flap.
2 stages flat. 2 stages. You shouldn't have to trim. If you put the horizon there, you should find the airplane settles down at 75 knots with only very minor trimming, if any, required. So 75 knots now required.
Okay. 5 knots.
Start to make your assessment as whether we're too high, too low, or just right.
Okay, so far I'll make a final judgment when we turn on to final.
Okay. You'll need your hand on the throttle, or near the throttle.
Checking for anyone else.
Very good.
Final.
Very good.
Everything there. No big birds around. Positive.
Yeah. That was rather handsome bird, that one.
It was.
I think it was too big to be a peregrine. It might have been a sparrowhawk or something like that. Look at the airspeed. Yeah.
It's 10,000 and then 15,000 feet with 9 canopies.
Okay, turning on to final. Maintaining 75 knots. Okay, we are now a bit high, so.
Be bold with the power.
Alright.
Be bold with it. Relax on the stick.
So we are maintaining 75 knots.
Good. Back off to Kilo 06. I've done the final call, don't worry.
Thanks.
Okay, try and get on the centre line.
350 degrees, 8 knots.
Now remember where you've got to look as we get near the ground.
I'm looking at the end of the way.
Yes. And we're going to hold off for as long as we can hold off. Full power.
Sarum radio, Mule 1, request runway crossing.
Mill 1, no traffic to effect.
Okay, back up to 70 knots, waiting for some altitude.
Mule 1, runway vacated.
Clear, low flat. One. 2 flat.
Good. Okay, I've got control.
Control.
Okay, not too bad as an approach. Now, minor thing is when you hold the throttle, personally I find it impossible to hold the throttle here because every time the aeroplane jiggles and jogs, this happens. I personally find it easier to hold this thing, which is solid, and use my thumb and forefinger to operate the throttle. It's a personal thing, but you may find it easier.
Good tip.
And on that subject then, as I say, be bold with the throttle. If we're too high, get it right off. If we're too low, get it right on, and play around with it over quite a big hour. Don't just dick around with sort of this much, because that doesn't really make any difference at all. And it just uses up time. Okay, not too bad. Touchdown was very flat, and we'll come on to that in a minute. I'll show you a slightly modified way of doing that in a second. But getting there. So you have control.
Have control.
Let's go around again.
Crosswind. 800. Okay, leveling off.
Alpha November, line up depart, 24 or right turn out?
Close enough. 100 feet.
50 degrees at 8 knots.
Check and turn on to downwind.
Good.
Old Sarum Radio, Golf November, Kilo downwind for 06.
Roger.
Student Golf Golf Sierra final.
Golf Sierra, 040 degrees at 8 knots.
Student Golf Golf Sierra.
I want 10% flat, don't I?
Sorry?
I'm just checking to myself.
Okay, downwind checks.
And brakes off, undercarriage down and fixed. Fuel is enough to go round. Fuel pump is on. Hatches and harnesses good. Everything is still in the green. Heading is fine. Count is good. Altitude is correct. Okay, getting ready to turn base. Another check. Looks good. Okay, turning onto base link now. Maintaining 800 feet. Okay, good. Heading is good. We'll reduce power. Okay, well, it's 2 stages of flap. 1, 2. Maintain 75 knots. Look out for anyone on final.
Power Alpha November, just under 5 minutes now from 10,000 feet.
Okay, so hand on the power. Height looks about okay at the moment, so I'm going to maintain this. Look out for anyone on final. All looks clear. Okay, I'll start my turn on to final now. I have a feeling now I'm a bit low, so I'm going to pump the power up. I'm not going to fanny about with it. Maintaining my 75 knots.
Completely your call, but the windscreen is actually looking pretty
Turning
tidy.
on to final.
If you wanted to.
Good.
DJ, yeah, roger, we'll go for that.
Good. I've got control, follow me through. Let me show you how we can modify this approach slightly now. You've got the first bit of it sorted out. So what I'm going to do now is fly my approach at 75 knots, as you did. And then I'm going to bring, I don't seem to be trimmed. And I'm going to bring the speed back to about 65 knots as we come over the peaks. This is going to give us a better hold off and effectively a shorter landing run. Golf November Kilo, finals to land, finals touch and go, 206. So about here, I'm going to bring the speed back. So reduce the power a little bit, keep the nose up, keeping the perspective the same, but allowing the airspeed to come back to 65, and then feed the power back in again to maintain the perspective at 65. Do you see?
Yeah, okay.
I'm still aiming for a little bit plus of the numbers because of that ridge, but now at 65, you see the nose attitude is rather heavier, or rather higher, I mean. And as I flare to touchdown, I should be able to hold off now for quite a long time until the aeroplane touches down on its main wheels only. Full power now. Keep the nose back pressure on the stick as we lift off. Place the cowling on the horizon. Bit of right rudder to keep the ball in the middle and climb away. So taking those 10 knots off on the last stage of the approach will make your touchdown a lot easier and make it a lot less flat. Okay? You've got control. Let's do one of those.
Okay, that's
Stations, parachute procedures, and operation.
70 knots. Got enough height, I'm going to reduce one stage. Flat. And then flaps down.
Good.
Okay. We are heading up to 500 feet.
Trim the aeroplane. Never fly the aeroplane untrimmed. So 75 is what we're looking for. 75. Raise the nose.
Okay. Turn. Fine.
Climbing turn. 15 degrees of bank angle, remember. 15 degrees of bank angle.
Okay. Climbing towards 800.
Old Sarum, radio,
knots.
Charlie Oscar Lima with Evan 2 on board. Your film information requesting taxi flight to France as per flight plan.
Golf Sierra Charlie Oscar Lima, Old Sarum Radio, morning, visibility 5. Runway 06, right hand circuit, QNH 1019er.
06 right hand with a 1019.
On to downwind.
Didn't Golf Sierra, final touching go.
800 feet.
Roger.
Now look at the power setting. And what that results in is a very high nose attitude, so we can't really see where we're going. So have the power set properly, and then we'll be able to see where we're going.
Old Sarum Radio, Golf November Kilo downwind for 06.
Roger.
Good.
Okay, parking brake is off, undercarriage is down. Fuel, we still have enough to go around, and the fuel pump is on. Hatches, harnesses are secure. Everything still remains green. Heading is fine. I'm climbing too high, so I'll drop the nose.
And let's change the fuel tank, shall we, since we've been flying for about half an hour, so let's flick it across the other tank.
That tank's now changed onto the right tank, and we still have enough fuel on the right tank as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Look out. Look clear at the moment. I'm just conscious that caravan's around somewhere. Okay, we're about 45 to the circuit, so I'll now turn on to base. Okay, so I will power back to 20%. 2 stage. 1, 2. Okay. Trim for 75 knots. That's good. Heights, altitude seems about fine at the moment, so I'll leave it as it is. Now for anyone on final. It's clear.
Alpha November, canopy to white and climbing to 50.
Roger.
Okay. A little bit low, so pump that up. Okay, make my turn on to final. Golf November Kilo final for 06.
Roger, 04 degrees at 8 knots.
Now let's try and shed 10 knots in the last 100 feet or so, while maintaining the same perspective. Okay, hand on the throttle properly, we need to manage the throttle properly. That's looking nice, that approach is looking nice. Aiming for about 100 meters beyond the 06. So speed back a little bit, so get the power off a little bit. 65 now. And remember to hold off rather than slapping it down. 5 knots, not 60, 65. That's it now. Power off, hold off, hold off, hold off, hold off, hold off, hold off. You can still fly, you see, so we can hold off.
Okay.
Okay, full power.
And Old Sarum Radio, Golf Oscar Lima ready now.
We have 70 knots. A bit low, so I'll wait.
Golf Oscar Lima, Roger, 05 degrees at 8 knots.
Golf Oscar Lima.
It's really the safe airspeed rather than the speed, rather than height that's significant.
2 flaps down. Good. Trim.
Good, okay, I've got control.
You have
Yeah.
control.
Okay, not bad at all. Nice approach initially. A little bit slappy with the throttle. I mean, you sort of, at one stage you nudged it like this. You got to actually control the throttle, hold it properly, control it properly.
Okay.
And we haven't yet cracked this business of holding off once we get into the flare, which we'll get to with practice. It takes a while to get that sorted out, but 90% of the circuit and the approach is now looking fine. So no problem at all with that. So you have control.
I have control.
Let's do that again.
Golf Sierra final. Golf Sierra, roger. 05 degrees at 8 knots. Golf Sierra.
Old Sarum ready to go for the kilo downwind. 06.
Roger.
Okay, back brakes off, undercarriage is fixed and locked. Fuel now the right hand tank, we have 10 gallons left. Fuel pump is on hatches. Closed and secured, harness is secure. T's and P's are in green. Heading and instruments look fine. Altitude is 800. Looks good.
Right hand circuit, the QNH.
Okay.
1019, parachute procedures are in operation.
06 right hand, QNH, could you repeat please?
1019.
1019, parachute procedures in operation. Golf, Charlie, Delta, Oscar, Kilo.
Okay. Make my turn onto base. Way too high at the moment. Power to 20%.
I'm ready, Golf Oscar. John, just confirm that QNH for us again, because we're about 100 feet out on this.
Yeah.
Set some flaps.
1019er, RN, that's better. Thank you very much.
Down to
And Old Sarum,
5
Golf
knots.
Oscar Lima, we're going 12025, cheers.
Golf Oscar Lima, Roger, can you say again your destination?
Going to Lille in France.
Roger, thanks. Just make you aware that we don't have the facility to open your flight plan. You'll need to get Solent to do that for you.
Yeah, so we'll call him and open
Okay,
next
trying
and
to
they'll
correct
keep tomorrow,
everything
be a
now.
break tomorrow.
75 knots. 20.
Complete
Look out.
descending for a high, right base, always 06. Have a good
We're
Friday.
about right. Make my turn on the final. Not a bit late. I need.
That's alright. I think you're okay. Keep an eye on the airspeed. At this stage is 75 knots. Looking nice. That's right. Good.
Golf Foxtrot Delta Oscar. Radio checking airport information for flight 2, I'll right stand down.
I'll watch the airspeed.
Golf Delta Foxtrot Delta Oscar, Sarum Radio, good morning, readability 5.
Okay, let's bring the speed back to 65 now, that's it.
1019er.
Very good.
06 right hand, QNH is
Good, keeping it in
1019.
perspective
Golf
exactly where it
Delta
is.
Oscar.
That's nice. And look, touchdown a little bit plus of the numbers. That's good. Very nice. Very nice, nice stable approach.
Approach for final.
Roger, 350 degrees at 8 knots.
Keep the 65 knots down into the flare.
Roger.
Then as you flare, close the throttle, hold off and she'll sit down nicely. Hold off, that's it. Keep holding off, keep holding off, keep there. Very nice, full power. Lovely, that's what we want.
Alpha November, it's 8,000 feet to join right base, runway.
Very good.
I kind of got it.
Yeah.
I understood that time.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Official with 1 departure.
Roger.
Okay, we have 70 knots. I'm going to drop flat.
Good, let's send another one of those.
Okay, heading out. 500 feet.
It's always worth remembering when you're landing an aeroplane, you're actually trying not to land it. You want to hold it in the air as long as you can until eventually it just gives up and settles onto the ground.
The fine line between holding it in the air as long as you can and not hitting the hedge at the end of the
Oh,
road.
well, that's true, but that's all about the approach, isn't it? But I get so angry when I see people landing an aeroplane, as in driving it onto the ground, because that's the way you break aeroplanes.
That's true. I need to try and not land it under the runway.
No, exactly. You're trying not to land the aeroplane, really.
Okay, 500 feet.
Now this, that's it. Good.
Turning onto crosswind. Tailing 15-degree turn. Looking out. Okay.
Alpha November, turning right base now, runway 06. Not official with number 1 yet.
Heading to 800 feet.
Alpha November, roger.
Parachute is in the air over there, so I better keep. Make sure I don't get those tied up in the prop.
Alpha November, number 2.
Okay, so we have 800 feet.
Roger, 030 degrees at 8 knots.
What am I doing? I'm not doing that. I'm turning on to base. That's what I'm doing. Trying to lose some altitude. So fine. Golf November Kilo on base.
Downwind.
Downwind, I beg your pardon, for 06.
The power is very high. We've got 100% power. That's it. Okay, downwind checks then.
Okay, so parking brakes off, undercarriage is down fixed. Fuel is on right tank. We still have enough fuel for a go around. Fuel pump is on. Hatches are still secure. Hearts are secure. T's and P's are in green. Instruments still registering correctly. My lookout. I can see parachutes coming down the right hand side there, so I need to be careful. And the caravan's just landed as well. Also need at the same time to maintain my height.
That's a nice station, isn't it?
It's lovely.
What's it take you to get down from Walton? About 40 minutes or something?
Yeah, give or take. Yeah. The earlier the better, actually.
Yeah, I can imagine. You go through Tidworth, I presume?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to turn onto this now. Okay. Good. We'll take it back to 20% power. And to pop. 1 and 2. Stage the flap. Altitude right for 75 knots. Okay. It looks just about okay at the moment. Looking out. Final looks good. Parachutes are sort of down.
Golf Delta Oscar ready for departure.
Okay, so we need to keep an eye on the fact that someone's ready to.
I'll check the airspeed. At this stage, 75.
Okay, making my turn. Final. my final call early because there's
Power off November,
pick off.
6,000 feet.
Golf November Kilo final for 06. I think we may well have to deal with.
I think he'll have gone by the time we get there, but well spotted. Okay, so fly a normal approach obviously and see if he's moved out of the way by the time we get there.
Golf Golf 0 downwind.
Roger.
He's taking off and climbing away now. Okay, nice stable approach, that's looking good. The perspective is good. Very nice.
Alpha November, C1 on final. After landing traffic, line up weight 06.
Alpha November 050 degrees at 8 knots.
Alpha November, roger, thanks.
And there's a bit full stop. Okay. Good. That's nice. Keep the speed at 65 into the flare. Maybe you're trying not to land it. Nice, very nice indeed. Keep it straight with the rudder bar. Keep it straight. That was lovely. Okay, we'll let this spool. Very gentle with the brakes, very gentle, very gentle. And we'll let the speed run off and then clear the runway to the left when it's safe to do so. Off to the left. I just call runway vacated.
Golf November Kilo runway vacation.
Good.